Hello World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and welcome to week 2 of... And I gotta say, I am pleasantly surprised with the very enthusiastic reaction I've got to the announcement of the Summer of Nicolas Cage. I got a ton of requests like Mandy and The Wicker Man and Vampire's Kiss, so let's not take a look at any of those and instead check out Snake Eyes. Released in 1998, Snake Eyes is a Brian De Palma film starring Nicolas Cage as Rick Santoro, and all you really need to know about it is that he's a cop, played by Nicolas Cage. Also, this isn't a horror movie, I'm sorry to tell you. I mean, I never set out to review exclusively horror, it's just, well, it's what you guys like clicking on, and I do enjoy horror, but every now and again I like to check out a crime drama whodunit. Who doesn't? As this story takes place at a boxing match during a hurricane, but wait! Someone assassinated a military official, and now it's up to Nicolas Cage to investigate this Atlantic City casino arena hotel and unravel this web of intrigue. And if it makes you feel any better, there is a body count. So, let's take a look at Snake Eyes and take a gamble on something not horror. We open up to a news report explaining the setting. We're at the Atlantic City Arena for a boxing match, despite the fact that there is a hurricane raging at the moment.
Will you please just call it a tropical storm? Please?
I love this town. They even spin the weather.
Nah, hurricanes tend to spin themselves. Anyway, we waste no time introducing Nicolas Cage.
Hi, Rick Santoro. Hello, Richard Santoro. I'm Ricky!
Who, in case you missed it, plays Rick Santoro. Also, something else about this opening shot, it just keeps going. Technically, it's not really one big unbroken shot, but the effect is that the first 10 goddamn minutes of the movie just flows as one big, long Steadicam shot. So apologies for ruining that with my editing to try and keep the Content ID bot off my ass as best I can. We watch as Rick goes about his business, betting on the fight, getting a call from his girlfriend, getting a call from his wife, and chasing down a local drug dealer to enact justice.
I allow you, I permit you, I give you the opportunity to pay for all the extra police work that you create!
Establishing right away that Rick is not exactly the heart of gold kind of guy. He chased down the drug dealer to take thousands of dollars off of him to help pay for his gambling tonight. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. We also established that Ricky went to school at the same place as our champ here, Lincoln Tyler, played by Stan Shaw.
Go Tyler! Go Tyler! Go Tyler! Go! Go Tyler! Go Tyler! Go Tyler! Whoa! Lincoln Tyler! Lincoln Tyler! Lincoln!
Who, for some weird reason, isn't even stopping to acknowledge Rick's existence. No bother. Rick is distracted by the ring girl long enough to give her his number, in case he needs a spare mistress, I guess. But if we're going to introduce all the important characters in the opening, we can't do that without bringing up Rick's best friend in the whole wide world.
There he is!
You got a pass, sir? It's all right, he's with me.
There's the man whose life I want!
Commander Kevin Dunn, played by Gary Sinise. Fun fact, they originally wanted Will Smith for the role of Kevin Dunn. Even more fun fact, Will Smith wanted $12 million for that, so... Kevin here is running security at the arena as he has to protect a certain Charles Kirkland, Secretary of Defense, played by Joel Fabiani. He's not exactly remaining hidden, but Kevin's got this under control with that mystical future technology of GPS trackers.
See that blip? That's him.
Look at you. 007.
Oh, you think that's impressive? Wait until you start getting advertisements for random shit that your Alexa overhears you talking about. We also establish the depths of their friendship, as Kevin knows about Rick's thievery and adultery and judges him for it, but at the end of the day, he still got his back. But as the fight is about to start, Kevin realizes something.
That seem right to you?
Kevin, that is right in so many ways.
No, I mean, who's she with? Not the guy next to her. Beautiful woman alone at a fight?
Sexy lady, what's the problem?
So as we sit down to look for clues for the mystery ahead, it is best to lock our eyes on that woman with the red hair ring. God damn it. Well, Kevin's focus is locked on the woman, approaching her for answers, but she runs off. Then another mystery lady in white sits down next to Rick. Then we hear Tyler got headbutted, this drunken asshole starts yelling, and Rick gets a call from the number girl. Then... And, say it with me, the body count has started. Which Tyler noticed. Oh, wait, I mean, he's knocked out, and everything's erupting into chaos. People scatter, Kevin shoots the assassin, but it's too late. Kirkland has been shot in the neck. This event was so dramatic, we've completely thrown the Steadicam out the window and have returned to normal cuts. They shut down the arena before everyone can run, as there are more mysterious characters about they must sniff out.
This is my fault. I should never have left my seat. I opened up a sight line. I was off the deck. What the hell was I doing? This is my fault.
And Kevin's having a bit of a nervous breakdown at the moment, what with the fact that he literally had one job. But Rick's not about to let his best friend's sense of duty and ability to admit when he's screwed up screw things up for him. Kevin shot the terrorist asshole who shot Kirkland, and that's all anybody has to know about what transpired. Kevin Dunn, the hero of the people.
I can't lie, Rick.
It isn't lying. You just tell them what you did right, and you leave out the rest.
Well, technically it's lying by omission, but With the help of Rick's can-do fuck-you attitude, they get the other, less famous police to understand that this is Nicolas Cage's investigation. No one is watching this movie to see him get sidetracked and walked all over for 90 minutes. But please, make yourself useful and get the press out of here. That way, he can confide with Kevin that there was a mysterious wig-wearing woman in white who ran off with an envelope. It has to be important, or the DM wouldn't have mentioned it. Never mind that for now. Rick wants to see the pay-per-view playback of the fight, and Lou, played by Kevin Dunn, wants to be the one and only press guy who gets dibs on that kick-ass story to boost his career in TV.
You know how Rather got his break? The goddamn Kennedy assassination.
Oh, you make me sick, Lou.
And yeah, that's Kevin Dunn, the actor, whereas Gary plays Kevin Dunn, the character. And evidently, during filming, that made for some interesting mix-ups, and Kevin, the actor, got some really swanky accommodations. After bribing Rick for the privilege, they have a deal. But now it's time for Rick to begin to unravel this mystery. First things first, what the fuck happened with that knockout punch?
I'll be damned. Airball.
It in fact did not connect. He threw the fight in the most obvious way possible with cameras all over him. Now we can only hope the rest of the mystery is this easy to solve. With the evidence that Lincoln Tyler threw the fight in hand, Rick now has to find out why. So, hey, they're both from the same school. Surely he can have a nice little chat with his old buddy Lincoln.
If you address my client as Mr. Tyler...
I'll call him Mr. T. The night he beat Rocky Balboa, if he wants.
I mean, yeah, but Rocky's like Gamera. I mean, sure, you can beat him, but then he just comes back from the dead, reforms his missing arm out of pure energy, impales you, turns his legs into jets, and flies off into the horizon, and you're just there like, Rocky, what the fuck? This little chat is running into a roadblock, though, namely Mickey Alter, played by Chip Zine. So, frustrated, Lincoln tells him and everyone else to get the hell out of there so he can come clean with Rick. Speaking of clean, the woman in white cleaned up, as best she could, considering blood is a really difficult thing to get out of your linens. Still, can't slip out, though. No one's allowed to leave without being photographed. Anyway, back with Tyler and Rick.
I'm not gonna say anything to anybody. You pay me back the 10 grand I lost, plus $500 for shaming the ring, and I forgive you.
He's coming clean with the dirtiest motherfucker in the city. As the story goes, Tyler is a great boxer, undefeated, real kick-ass in the ring, but not so great at craps. Or blackjack, or slots, pretty much everything else in Atlantic City he sucked at terribly and got himself into quite a bit of debt. However, someone told him that if he took a fall tonight, his debts would be forgiven. But it's kinda hard to give the people a show when the guy you're supposed to let win isn't even throwing punches.
I couldn't get that sack of shit to take a decent swing at me. He wouldn't stop talking. Like he was gonna bullshit me to death.
Still better than Paul versus Mayweather. He also ran into a slight problem when he did connect with one punch and damn near won by accident. That and the headbutt the guy did damn near got him disqualified, so probably not taking any more risks. The guys just gave the signal for him to take a dive.
Here comes the pain, baby! Here comes the pain!
Either that or he just realized he forgot to take his Vicodin. So he's trying his best to put himself in the corner like they agreed, but the guy he was fighting wasn't even good enough to connect with the punch. Still, even he didn't know all the aspects of the agreement.
But nobody was supposed to die. She never said anything about that.
She?
Okay, so that narrows it down to 2 characters. Man, I kick ass at Guess Who.
Do you remember anything unusual about her?
Her hair, maybe.
What about it?
It was bright red. Like it was on fire.
Nah, I'd say rusty Oldsmobile. With this shocking revelation, Rick takes Kevin aside to confide with him. Or maybe he's just really excited about all this. After all,
she's 1, Shooter's 2, Tyler's 3. The drunk who shouted the signal's 4, and whoever was on the other end of that radio was 5.
5 people make a conspiracy, right?
We've got a conspiracy here! Conspiracy! There's conspirers! Conspiring in a conspiracy. Conspiracy! But Kevin informs Rick that the shooter was this terrorist sumbitch who just really didn't like United States defense secretaries, had a suicide note and everything on him. Kevin believes that's because he heard about the Norfolk tests, an anti-missile defense system that worked even better than they could have dreamed. But that made Kevin sloppy, chasing after the redhead, being distracted by boobage just long enough that he couldn't save the secretary, only kill his assassin.
That's what she was there for. That was the plan. To give you a boner. And you got one. Congratulations, you're human.
Okay, so we're not on the lizard people conspiracy, at least. That's a start. Kevin thinks their best bet to solve this mystery is to find the redhead or the signal man. Rick can take care of that. Kevin will look for that woman in white. Rick decides that the massive array of casino cameras is a great place to start, while Kevin says he'll double-check with security. However...
I finally understand why you didn't want me to worry about your shooter.
One less terrorist in the world.
It turns out Kevin knows where the man and woman are because they are, in fact, working for him, just as the shooter was. That's right, kids! It's a conspiracy! Conspiracy! Problem was they were already supposed to be out of there. But because Rick knows he's looking for the two of them, and according to Kevin, they just can't kill Rick, that means he has to shoot them both to tie up this little loose end.
Wait, I've been shot. I've been shot. I'm shot.
Geez, I thought I spent too much time just narrating what was going on. That means the woman in white is the only one left worth looking for. And also, remember the glasses she was wearing? Well, they weren't just for show. She's incredibly nearsighted, but also looking for somewhere to lie low for a while, introducing us to Ned Campbell, played by David Anthony Higgins. Later, first we have to see that now Kevin is making a deal with Tyler, and stuffing the dead bodies into the cement mixer. Well, everyone's busy, especially the woman in white.
Oh my God, that's her.
Since she had red hair.
No, not that one. Somebody else.
The one that I wasn't actually supposed to be looking for, but fuck it, I can multitask. So Ricky's in pursuit, but so is Kevin. So in this game of cat and mouse, and another cat, the woman slips away into an elevator, away from Rick, but in the same one as Kevin. Damn, all the villains have teleportation powers. But in order to find out where they're going, the security pulls out some CSI shit, zooming in and enhancing the guy's ID to determine which room he's renting and where Rick can find them.
Take a walk.
What the hell's going on around here?
I said take a walk!
It's my room, damn it!
It's our room? Allowing Ricky to finally get to the woman in white, Julia, played by Carla Gugino. But the distraught simp runs into none other than Kevin on the way out, and is sure to show the man back to his room where that no-good Nicolas Cage stormed in. Wait a minute, you had the key to get back into your locked room the whole time? Well, if he didn't make a huff about it, then Ricky couldn't have escaped into the stairwell with Julia while the cameras were away. But lest we forget, he's on an investigation.
All right, I'm not interested in what you don't know. What I'm interested in is what you do know.
Well, I can tell the difference between butter and I can't believe it's not butter. Wouldn't you know it, Julia just so happens to be possibly the most important character in this story. She works at Powell Aircraft and puts together the ballistics reports for tests, and the Air Guard missile tests were absolutely perfect, which set off some red flags for her, and upon further investigation, she discovered they were doctored. So she came to the fight tonight to hand Kirkland the proof in person, waiting out of sight of Kevin Dunn, and witnessing...
All right, hold it, stop.
No, Nick, you can't just stop the review every time some continuity error comes up. It's just gonna drag things out, and honestly, no one really cares. Never mind that for now, though. She has to explain the rest of the plot. Seems the original test results for the Air Guard shows that the missile defense system blew things up. Way off target, while the target blew itself up because it was rigged. The system doesn't even remotely work. They just want to push it through and patch it later.
Don't make any plans for the next 6 months, young lady. You're going to be sending some people to jail.
Oh! Yeah, people do often go to jail for murder. Hearing this side of the story, Ricky completely shoots her down, saying there's no way that Kevin, his bestest friend in the whole wide world, could have possibly been conspiring with the conspirators. Yes, there is a conspiracy, but surely he's not part of it. Besides, she's nearsighted. How the hell could she be sure of what she saw?
Your glasses didn't fall off till after the gunshots. Ah, shit.
trying his best to gaslight her, only to then realize that bullshit he came up with to explain it away flies in the face of the facts on the scene. So, oh well, your best friend's a murderous asshole. What are you gonna do? Lock her away in a little cubbyhole for now, as she's not going to be important anymore until the climax. But on remembering that shooting again, or rather replaying the scene for the 12th time now, he remembers the number girl calling him up, and there was a blimp in the arena. As it turns out, it's a newfangled camera rig, just installed that day, and nobody even knew about it ahead of time. This means Ricky can find out for himself what really happened.
I need to look at this part alone.
You're the man.
Oh, sorry, I just always get really excited whenever I'm watching a tape where the body count rises. Looking over the footage, Rick sees it's true. Kevin was waiting to kill the assassin before he even emerged. The truth is out. It's a conspiracy, baby! Conspiracy, yeah! Which Rick may as well have been a part of, all things considered.
I knew you could be bought if anything went wrong. No offense, pal, but I never thought you'd get as far as you did.
Your rap sheet is full of taking bribes and extortion, not all this investigative skill crap you've been doing. So Kevin wants to know where Julia is hiding, but Rick isn't about to give her up. She was just trying to save soldiers' lives. This is where our moral ambiguity comes in. You see, the system doesn't work yet, but if it does, then it'd help a lot, because they had no defense against a missile that hit the ship that Kevin was on before, and in order to save most of them, he had to lock 28 men behind a watertight seal to their deaths.
You ever listen to a man drowning? They don't die quietly.
Well, I think that mostly has to do with exactly how close they are to the surface at the time, really. So he wants his missile defense system, and he wants it now! Who cares if it doesn't actually work yet? They'll fix it in post. And if doing the wrong thing for the right reasons isn't good for you, how about the wrong reasons? Kevin offers Rick a big fat bribe.
$1 million. $1 million.
Well, while you're at it, why not throw in a brand new car? But this is a bridge too far for Ricky. He can't kill a poor, young, hot woman, even for $1 million.
Kevin, you just pulled a gun on me.
Our master detective does it again. Not only is Kevin in complete control, but remember how he stopped to chat with Tyler? Well, it was to recruit him to Kevin's cause.
You got nothing, kiddo. Snake eyes.
He said it! He said the thing! So to loosen his tongue, they beat the crap out of him! Rick's still not talking, so Kevin begins blabbering about how Rick's dreams of being the mayor are completely stupid considering his background. The press will dig for dirt and find the motherlode. He'll be ruined. His wife will leave him. His girlfriend. All he has to look forward to is jail time. What's this hero bullshit going to accomplish? Still not talking, so Kevin just knocks him out and plants one of those handily established GPS trackers on his jacket. That way, when he comes to, limping around and bleeding all over the place, Kevin can follow his signal straight to the girl. But that's not the only thing going on.
Well, it looks like Tropical Storm Jezebel just may be a hurricane after all.
Oh yeah, there was that big fucking storm thing. They talked about it in the opening. It seemed important, but really hasn't come up since. But it's important now, as Julia's room is just on the edge of the building, and the storm is causing all kinds of damage. The police are on their way, and a tidal wave sends them crashing towards all the important characters.
Put the gun down! On the ground right now! Lower your gun now, sir! No, wait a minute, wait!
Well, hold on. There was clearly a tidal wave on screen not but 4 seconds ago. That's not a small amount of water. Where the hell did it go? Kevin still tries to pull this together, saying how the woman is a suspect and he's an important guy, and this is all just one big misunderstanding.
Tell him what we got here!
Ain't no we, Kevin. You got snake eyes.
He said it. He said the thing. So, not much of a hero's end for Kevin. He just shoots himself, and that's that. Which means that everything is okay, thanks to the hero of the hour, Rick Santoro, now being given praise from all directions. Until all that corruption shit comes to light, his wife and girlfriend leave him, and oh yeah, he's sentenced to some jail time. This is not all bad. He's still got a good thing going on with Julia.
Maybe in about 12 to 18 months from now, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, I'd like that.
The end, our hero gets the girl. And a pretty lenient sentence, all things considered, but anyway, that was Snake Eyes. It is pretty good for what it is, but you really do have to be into these kinds of movies. Most of what we have on display here is high enough quality, and Nicolas Cage brings that Cage charm we all know and love to the role of Rick Santoro, but there are a few shortcomings to speak of, both in the DNA of this movie genre and the execution of this particular example. As it's a story of a conspiracy being unraveled over the course of 90 minutes, that severely limits the locations that we're going to get during the running time. They do a pretty good job regardless, with the arena and the casino and hotel and the back rooms, but it's all one big building and it can't get too varied as a result. The big thing making this feel very samey as time goes on is the fact that we simply replay scenes multiple times during the movie. Yes, from different angles, giving us new information that is very revealing and interesting, but it's still the same scene. Then there's the oddities and snake eyes that stem from it originally trying to be something else, but having to settle for at the last minute. Notably, a lot of F-bombs in this movie are poorly edited out, as they were shooting for a PG-13 rating, then got an R anyway, but the bad edits remained. More noticeably, though, is the climax that wasn't. Evidently, the entire arena was supposed to get flooded by the tidal wave in this huge epic action climax, but that didn't make the cut, so we have a climax that just starts getting going and then abruptly stops, a phantom tidal wave that exists and then doesn't, and Rick telling Julia about his recurring nightmare about almost drowning, when all that happened to him was some heavy rain. What, does he dream that he's a turkey or something? Still, the heart of the movie does play well for fans of conspiracy flicks. The slow trickle of twists does a decent job of making the same scenes feel different the more times you see them, and of course Gary Sinise does a great job of playing Nicolas Cage's responsible best friend who will backstab the shit out of him in a heartbeat, coming in at 3 bullets in the back of your best buds out of 5. It still feels like a high-quality flick, but there are a few too many issues holding it back from being a masterpiece. Thank you all for watching. I've been Shado. And remember, don't hire your assassin to be your bodyguard.
And you signed my kid's autograph!